The best decision I ever made in my life was when I decided to come back to this place only 3 days before the start of winter, and my old school friend, the owner of the old shop of the day Hang, was feeling on me. He wrote a letter written by a city dweller who has come back to the city. He said that he does not come to the city, but who knew that just a few hours later this same place would become a lost road for kilometers, and on top of all that, what happened to me is that the same person who had laughed at me later came to my door on his knees and begged, and my grandfather's body was pierced. He became this person after praying to the people of the world. It was the beginning of June, and 3 days before the monsoon of the lunar calendar I was standing proudly in my suit on the bank of the San John Kansan village. I had just given the last message of Pickle on my phone: your steam has been collected, pick it up. In the salty water the bellows gar and the gut almost ended. This was my condition. It was in a valley to the west of the village. There was a steep path of 8 kilometers. No taxi was ready to go there, so I had to sit on the axle. The whole journey was in the dust of the villager. And the gut had a huge death toll in it, but the knee inside was heavier than the dust. Just 3 days before the day Virast had passed away. He, and another advice: when the city started to grow, come back to the ground. At that time there was a Minger reading in The Secret of the Land in an internet company. I was getting less among the thousands. I was crying. Life was shining, but no one knew that in one night the whole compartment would be destroyed. The war of anger started. The door of the blood got tired, so that beautiful church opened with the view that was in front of it. Even the slow blood started the war. The path was completely closed. The walls of the 100-year-old mansion were cracked in places. The ceiling tiles were cracked. The wooden walls inside were definitely not there. The door was closed. The door was completely closed. The last season's hay was still standing. The foxtail grass was blowing from above. The water had fallen more than a meter below. There was a black cloud lying below. There were rain boots. I left my luggage and went to the stone. On seeing this I speeded up. I was near the door. So this is my result. The phone reached me. How is the field? It is very good, I said. Okay, grandfather. When I looked from above I saw other people as strangers, so my eyes remained open. I showed the phone. I saw the field like this bird. There were only 2 ways now. I don't give up. Go back to the city. Send a reminder. Let me try once. I got up and went inside the mansion. A cloud of dust came over me. The sequence of reading and writing started. Grandfather's things were still lying on the disc. There was a thick leather circle near the reading glasses. Opened on the first page it was written Pindrom. Today the seeds were sown. The seeds were sown and the dense ones were left. Every corner of the map had a name. The land surrounded by 3 steep mountains had a name. The only path in the entire land, the flow of the Andagran River coming from the western mountain till the soil of every field. In one corner of the map grandfather had written something special with a red pen. Above is an old bagal tree. Below is a wooden flag. The flow of water can be controlled from the sky. This place is surrounded by mountains on 3 sides. The river is chasing the river. In the west, the river is flowing in the shallows. It is a narrow gauge. The last name of the berry was a week before leaving. It was written on the sky that you are reading this, so it means that you have come back. These lands do not betray those who look after them. Keep checking this thread in case of an urgent need. This can save the earth. The important thing has remained with me. Grandfather had become a little strange in his last days. He used to tell us strange tales every day. Every day I rode on grandfather's old tractor Dan Fango and went out to the village. It was at least 20 years old. The machine used to emit a cloud of black smoke as soon as it was activated. When people saw that I was on it, the noise started. I have heard that this is not the grandson of a drunkard. I have heard that he did not go to the city even after a day to do good. I did not stop in the big sorrow. I moved forward without stopping. The shop owner kept smiling and said that the people of this cheap city do not keep coming back to buy stone seeds. I heard that there are no flowers growing in the secret box. I calculated that 30 wise women died on each road 100 years ago. 4,000 big rupees can be sown, so those seeds. When the game was over and I started going towards the lake, then I heard a voice from the gun shop as if John had read it with a funny smile. I heard that the job has gone. Yes, I saw. What is the use of studying so much after all? If my grandfather had known, I would have turned in the grave. I did not pay attention and flowed ahead. Yet another voice stopped me to wait for the mistress of half the love. Here he held out a paper packet. This is a powder to fill the sap. There is a lot of sap in the afternoon. Sprinkle it all around the house, and after mixing this insecticide in water. Thank you, sir. You know, grandfather was a very good person in his time. He had helped me a lot in the desert. So tell me. I went back to the field and it was evening. I was lying on the stone bench sleeping and reading grandfather's diary. On the basis of this, the sowing of seeds should be complete before the monsoon. Even the seeds of the plants should be planted at a distance of 3 inches after they have dried. The shoots also grow best from the roots. They were in the garden in the spring. Why did they see it so many times? Did Rakanat grandfather understand that he had given the earth his whole life? Every word was a piece of his tears which the birds of the night have shed. The sound of the birds started chirping one after the other is a common thing in the sky, but today there was a noise like that of a frightened bird which has heard of some danger, and then suddenly all the birds disappeared together. The sound was about to start crying. It was a friend of the series, and it was a hidden video which was made secretly, and it was full of interns of the hospital. A man fell on the ground and touched the gold. Nearby people were shouting, and he started asking what happened if he deleted the video. I wrote that only 2 nights were given to me, and then no one kept trying to send my messenger, and then he will disappear. There was a bad signal here, so I did not bother much, but there was a blank space which did not know where to go, and brought it to my grandmother's circle, in which I thought that on some important moment this can save my life. As per the safety, there was an acacia tree at the base of which all the world was in trouble. When I removed the shadow from my head, I saw the shadow of a Quranic pen. It was blackened, but the base of the plate was stuck on one side. Maybe it is not even repaired. To take a photo, it is necessary to remember the place taken from the mobile. I didn't know how useful it would be for this. The map was absolutely correct. It was back in the old mansion of grandfather's house. Lying on the bed wearing an old sack, smelling of moonlight. This land was shining in the distance. What is this? Maybe this is my new beginning. The next day I woke up in the morning and went out to clean the kitchen. The sounds of many vehicles came from the village. Not one, not two, but many. I looked on the roof. A convoy of vehicles was on the road at full speed. A cloud of dust was rising. There were some sewers. There were all kinds of angels behind them. The vehicles were burning more than my hands. The one I was trying to save, my heart sank. The zoom also stopped. Electricity and water started going off in the villages where only 30 people lived. People dug into the earth and cleaned everything. There were clouds on the ground and tears were coming from every street. I went to the place to seek shelter, but people stopped at every corner holding knives in their hands, and the day was shining in the blind eyes. Yesterday I used to meet her with a smile. Today I was standing at the door carrying a knife for 2 rounds of food. Today one day I was standing in the dead cold with my back to the door of my grandfather's old mansion, holding the door tight, but my hands were sweaty. There was only one question in my mind: whom should I trust now, and who will I make the first attempt on? This day is the shadow of all. At 1 o'clock I was talking about breakfast on an old bicycle when it arrived in the garden and started moving on the steam of the shop, of the stand, of the baskets, the smell of steam. But today the shutter of the shop of the lady was closed. The shutter of the shop of the lady suddenly heard only a few words. The lady of the shop was ironing rice in sacks. The forehead was wet with sweat. What should I do? Quickly go back to the village. She didn't even raise the milk. But what happened was that I was there yesterday. Something happened to the hospital. Dr. Lu and Maki are no more, the voice said, but that patient came. They bite the people. Even then I told her the engine was roaring from the end. The sound of banging. The number of other places increased by the hand. The prince's carriage passed by in the village. No one cares about the white people. A horse-drawn jeep in front of the horse crossed the rail of the straight sticks and kept flowing without control, but it was difficult to even catch hold of the palm when we came. The rest of the carts gave a pass to the shop. The people who were looking for water broke the water bottles. Today the world's grand city has broken the glasses. What are you doing? Give money to a middle-aged man and shoot him away. Money, we are all going to die. What to do with the money? And then I saw him. The door of the last carriage had opened and there was a middle-aged man wearing a hospital gown. He had fallen on the ground. He slowly got up from the bottom, but there was no one like a human being to get up. The body was hanging lifelessly towards the fire like a puppet with some threads floating on it. I felt as if every step was taking a single step. My back was making noises on the cold ground. Someone chased me. You were not in the hospital. I got angry with this man, and then I saw his face. It looked like a dead body. You were waiting for a long time, but people were not looking at anything. A line of black blood was flowing from the corner of the mouth. Pieces of meat were hanging between the teeth. He looked at the person who was close to me. It was slow in the moment. The drunk driver was now sitting there. He had thrown a piece of meat in the back of the passerby's mouth. The blood flowed from the wound on the ground. The cow's face stopped. The blood was flowing from the wound on the ground. The sound of a snoring sound and that terrible gurgling sound coming out of his throat. Just one night run away from the dark land. In the same place I started looking for the distance. The blue hammer. I met everyone, but the stone was still there. There was no time to explain. What was happening? I turned the counter and started filling the glass in the air shovels of hammer blue dried rivers ranches whatever they could sunjun. I also kept the horse running. The fast coat on my stomach was lying yellow. The hospital of the village had fallen down. The spiders had turned yellow. The robbers remained the robbers. Then they also started doing the job. I was carrying the goods on the cart. The hunter looked at the condition of the river. Then we were seen under and drew a toolbox along with several tents. We and Tina ran through a narrow path. While pushing the fruit on the road, the monkeys were shouting and making some noises like the sounds of an animal on the road. But there is something strange about me when you are fixing things for the sake of Ferda, so he does the same thing with me. Yes, both of them are moving towards the river. The peacock is a little bit dry, but it is fine for 20 minutes. It was completely professional. It was deprived of the necessary feeling from the wire. They put a tail on the chin, closed the holes with pieces of wood. This is what they did. I said something to my father and gave a gift that would save my life. After fixing the fur, they moved ahead. They said while walking, if it is spread by the virus and is eradicated by biting, then there should be a lot of work to be done to cure the incubation period. These people's heads looked like sorry, but they doubled very fast. Whoever you are right now, you are scared of everyone. You have to live on the road. You have opened the door of the house. You have got rid of the wire. You have looked at everyone. The routine here is simple. I am not the only one who can live now. I am the first one to eat. I am happy. Everything has become cloudy outside. I don't want to be interrupted. I am a doctor everywhere. I have brought medicines to help. I have a veterinarian, but in an emergency people will also be affected by the evening, and people started coming. The army veteran came to China first carrying his paralytic man on his stomach, wanted to cross the road. I was lying on my knees in front of the door, keeping me hidden. I can do it. I can give it. I can say it. I picked it up. We belong to the same village. I can do it. Then on foot came Sushia, the head of the school, along with 10 calves. All the children under whose parents they used to work were hiding in the school, hiding from the outside noise. They will run away. At the end 4 people all said that they were filling the rice. They were not only filling the rice, they had also brought 4 more salty spices. It would stay on the field for a long time. There were 30 people. Everyone gathered there. I talked to everyone. I have seen the situation. Anyone has died. Maybe there are consequences now. We are crazy, but we have not seen anything for a long time. Someone asked about the Zoom base. I directly said that it is infected. If you cut, then you become one of them. People started getting restless, stood silently. There will be nothing to worry about. Sanjon, tell me what to do. I got the topographic map of the courtyard and read it from the other side. I have only one path towards the east. There will have to be a dugout. I will barricade myself, and there is an underground river in the western part. If necessary, I can touch the water. China said I ate my own property. My hunger said I will convert the visitors into weapons. The milkmaid said medical supplies are ready. Hand in hand, the thoughts said take care of the strong and the children in my world. The lazy one has eaten the breasts. I don't know what kind of fire it was. I don't know what kind of fire it was. The people in the window are children. I don't know what kind of fire it was. I don't know what kind of fire it was. I don't know what kind of fire it was. I don't know what kind of fire it was. I don't know what kind of fire it was. I didn't know the roots were higher than the tops of the fields. The fire in the distance had gone completely away. What was happening in the world of spring? We didn't know anything, but one thing was very clear. The old world was fresh. It was just beginning, and we were alive. I had never been swollen. I would look at the hunters standing in a queue towards my farm. In the queue towards my farm, the person at the fire was wearing a white coat and recognized me as the doctor who was taking the medicine last week. He was standing behind and was facing towards the stone. Our hastily built fences were facing the edge of the paper, and in front of this crowd my people were buying strong children. They were all looking at me. I was waiting for my cock, and this is Islam. There was only one question in my mind: can we really touch this place? 30 people. We had crossed the day together. We had dreamed that if we touched the sun, then we will remain awake every day. We would get up at 5 o'clock, weed the paddy from foot to foot in the mud. The same rain would come to our mind even in the morning. Then we would turn to the sun at a distance. Then the leaves on my palms started turning into smaller pieces as if they were burning in the muddy water. But there were 15 mubunas here. This was the example of our life. The rest of the people were also not sitting idle. The dog with its tin had dug a tin deep on the mountain path, leaving a 2-meter deep tin. The bird had turned farm tools into weapons. The bamboo had turned the tools of the field into weapons and had sharpened the long ones by spreading them on the ridges. Other people were making herbs and teaching them how to do bandages. The first one was filled with stones and the third one was made of wood soaked in water. Everyone would go according to the plan. My voice was quiet, but only I knew that the Kongs were at work. The first encounter of death was more than 200 zoom bases and The road was very narrow at first, then 2 people could pass 7 times on the road. On both sides there were traces of 2 degrees of snow. There were sweet stones and thorns. This was our only advantage. The crowd of zoom base moved slowly but did not stop. They did not stop. There was a wave of dead bodies ahead. The doctors were roaming around. Their white coats had turned dark red. Their faces were stained with blood. But there was no sign of human influence. I entered the first line of black smoke. The first line of the ditch was straight ahead, but the people behind did not stop. They kept moving forward, but they were powering on. The ditch was filled with fire. My breath came out. The fire started on the second section of the line. The sky was covered with black smoke. It spread everywhere due to the heat of the zombies, and it turned gray. Many grays went straight into the fire. The wall of fire was broken. The heart felt like it would go to spring. It was wet or even sweat. We were walking with the hand of the horse. The friends are the uncles. We are speaking. We are chatting with the sound. The cheap ones, their eyes were like ambassadors. We could see all of you. They were spitting water. They were spitting water and took out a big spitting stone which I had made from the car's stereo. I connected my own. It was as if the music was sounding. The zombies also got up, stopped for a moment, then started looking towards the sky, spied on the edge of this entire cliff, got up and ran with all their strength. The echo of the music spread in the valley. A huge path was found. It started moving towards the sky, but the spider's heart was still pounding. On the third day, only 2 summits were broken from the entrance of the valley. I was really at work. I wanted to run away like Sanami. I wanted to close my eyes and dream that this is all a false dream. If my fee was falling, then all their lives were lost because of me. This game was lost. San John and Van King were on my shoulders. I was happy. I was thinking something, and then the game of the doorman's grave came to my mind. I was like the rest of the people. I was lying there making noise. Pay attention to me. Keep this thing in mind. And I traveled the 2-kilometer route towards the western mountain, and the journey took less than 10 minutes. The same wooden platform that I had done the day before now stood there in complete silence. People held the water and put all their strength towards the funnel line. The path was the narrowest. As soon as the water reached the funnel, the first wave washed away the land ahead. The second wave tore the middle heart. The third one gave me a portion of the path. The child who jumped over the stones in the elephant's journey, the heavy path on the other side, had now crossed into a huge stream. I fell on the ground there. Not even a drop of sweat was visible. The clothes were freezing. Hands were not stopping from moving. The corner was also crossed. I was saved while gasping, but whose meaning was that the path was completely crossed. I had gone to the pond till the end. There is no way to go out. There is no way to get new goods. We will wait till the end. Everyone was waiting for the end. It got cleaned, I said, but the path was also there. But there was a lot of grass on the way. The cow was not stopping me. The cow was not keeping from the land. There was no way out of the earth. One night the cow stopped the bleeding with some herbs, and the threads of the clothes stopped flowing in the silence of death. I kept it from the other side, and the sound of the earth falling was faint, and even the danger did not go away. Perhaps they remained in the same place where I was sitting on the terrace looking at the sky full of stars. I did not see this in the city now. There was no light pollution. The milky breeze was flowing in the air. It was very good that I came to China and gave you the hope of getting it. I was the one who was broken. I accepted it. Honestly, I used to run away when I saw all of them, but did not run away. China sat next to me. This is normal. The first time I went in a low sitting, I got my penis wet and started pouring it. That is what you did. After that, your father's efforts saved us all. It is not your fault. No one, if not the land on the other side. The stream had splashed, looking at their silhouettes in the light of the moon. Earlier they were doctors, teachers, farmers, shopkeepers. Now only doctor was written in them. Look back, the baby was writing the medicine for the last week, and I used to give a little surprise. And how many people in my grandfather's circle? I wrote 7 days, stay alive till tomorrow. The teacher had left me. There was only a scar. There was no horse's bike, but he was growing up bit by bit through the fields. He came till 3 days after crossing the border. Why did he get the same ration? He said there was a 24-year-old boy pointing towards China's water, which was basking in the sun on the well. She was completely paralyzed 2 days ago. I read, looking at someone, I can't do anything. She said that there is justice. Some of them said yes. I said yes. China's face turned red and the milk got wet. What did she say? This is the concept which I have not seen before. Because I am of no use. China punched her. The 12 words fell on many lands. Do we need more money? So why is it less necessary to teach the calves the lesson? Sushu's answer was that this is a question of who's teaching, that's why teaching is necessary, otherwise those children and animals will keep on wandering. There is no value of my spider's skull. The people of the city and the villages are also the sheep on the streets. If there is not one, then why are they alive in this night for the first time? Council meeting, teaching, studying. There was also a circle in the middle. There was a lamp in the center. I opened Grandma's icon book, and along with it I made a big story. This farm had brought up 18 people more than us every day, had an account. Granddad, but not only. For the month of labor I read the records, taking care of the sick 10 pennies a day, teaching the children 10 pennies a day, cooking food and drinking water at 4 o'clock at night. In the hot summers there was a price of Rs. I also add a little bit of raw beef to make the porridge so soft that even a strong person can chew the herb. I chew it. My brothers said that there is no change, but it saves the life at the time of need. I fixed the tool. I walked towards the edge of the circle. I fixed it. The bird looked at my face. Yesterday you asked me about a young man who is not interested in me. I told him that it is not a change, but that my face has become even more famous. I said when he used to come to the huts I used to do well. You saw everyone, you used to trust me. He did the same to me. I did not say this. We all together saved the silence. The calf is alive. Because of everyone I forgot to forgive the calf. I used to apologize loudly. It was taking me a long time. Food is getting less for the calves. Then the calf said. I said softly, yes, I am feeling. It is normal for me too that I am not happy with this system, hence the basic ration guarantee is equal for everyone. The extra ration time is given to everyone one by one along with the pennies after the meal. The whole world is written down. Agricultural team, defense team, logistic team, medical team, agitation team. If this system had been running since that day, everyone would have been given the day's pennies. Gradually the food would have reduced. Everyone would have come to know here. Someone has woken up. Money has moved forward quickly. 15 days have passed. 15 me has been completed. All the stairs have been taught the right way. 10 practical steps have been taken. The more they will jump, the lower they will be. The hands will not grow after this. Drying, the 2 hands have been plucked from the spring. Then the grandfather sings the same thing in the spring wind. You have prepared the house for the dogs by soaking the wood in the dew of other people's water. There was no head as much as the head of chickpea pistachio mixed with rock, but it was better than nothing. There were less mosquitoes in the pond, but there were a lot of things. Chinese cabbage, a fast-growing vegetable. Chinese cabbage in the middle of the day. Molly, 45 things were done. Then again it happened after a month. The first cabbage soup was prepared that night. Lizon sitting in the house and Swangar made cabbage soup. There was only salt in the spices, but with her own hands she had grown a big vegetable. Cheating, this is better than any douche. I took 2 glasses of my face and went to China. I am really sorry. China said that we all are a lover. I believe in China. I looked at everyone with eyes full of love. There is only one other person in the world. The light of love was shining. Every circle was bright. Someone was filled with love. Someone's eyes were filled with tears. The eyes were completely awake. It doesn't end, maybe it never does, but we learned to live together, and that was enough. It is written in these days that we are with you. The rainy season has come so quickly that it takes a few days for the first light to appear, as if the sky itself is being seen. The mud walls of the Polish mansion are being torn to pieces, 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 to pieces. The fingers of the hand raised up to the waist were gripping the entire lower part, which was being pierced hundreds of feet below. Every step felt a tremendous pressure. The whole foot had taken the flower. While raising its hands I found someone's entrance in the sky. There is a 1 meter and the prayer of the incoming filter was completely blocked with something. Moreover, 1 by 1 by 1 by 1 by 1 by 1 has sketched something. The spring has been taking it away in the parties. For 2 hours, then on the opposite side go up and rest in the same way 1 by 1. Those who were the strongest also hung and rest. Everyone kept on praying for an hour. For 1 hour, if they wanted, the blankets and rain would come on them. They would drink the soup and drink the water. The next day the entrance of the channel got cleared, but this was just the beginning. In the last year Corona, the entrance was completely closed in the Pasan. The Pasan had to be opened from everyone. That part which was lying in the morning was dangerous. It could collapse at any time. Whoever goes there can be buried alive. I am going without touching you. I need you. I am going like a Balkan said. All 3 of us will go and see each other's back. Out of the 3 channels, the underground hole is the only one to be buried alive. It was so low that the water was flowing up to the knees. Sometimes it touched the roof. Keep in mind that the sound in front has gone, the dust has covered all the clouds, no one is turning back, the day is back, it is not possible that there are many droplets in the sky, and in the same night there is a car of some kind in the middle of the rain. They came running in the rain, their car was at the foot of the mountain, there was a new woman on foot, she was not being led by a police officer, her uniform was completely drenched, then keep us with us, no one is jumping inside me. He got a line and had less food, but after seeing them sitting in the rain he became happy, and suddenly there was a man of 56 years of age among them, he was the officer of the control station, he was our own, and suddenly he said, you are wrong where you are staying. On your own, the important point of the channel is not there, start from the southwest corner. Point teach that the rest of the water will flow out on its own, it is not enough, 3 points have been marked on the map, the people divided into 3 groups were also together, they were dirty but no one doubted. On the third day Sean opened the last point, the sister's voice stopped. The dirty water flowed into the channel towards the entire pond, and the water of the day slowly flowed slowly, and gradually some were still alive, but the children were there. There was another white sheep jokingly saying, look here, we will dig in the place right now. Clear water was gushing out of the stone doors, this is the spring of water, you can drink it. We all gathered around in this water, it was making clear water in this world too, in the apocalypse where water was worth more than gold, it was a treasure. This night the moon came out of the clouds to keep the rain, was standing on the terrace, it was giving water, it was a girl, it was showing the day. It was the spring that was giving us to those who met us. This land does not betray those who take care of it. Grandfather's voice echoed. Now grandfather's voice was right, the radios just increased their heart a bit. 20-40 cents were found here. Answers started coming one by one from Shahutks sitting nearby, and there were spore bases. Everyone had fought their own battles, but the radios had also taken the trouble. One by one the radios came and heard the 20th centenary new sound. The aim of the order is 2 more supplies, or we will come and clean. Shaolin's face has disappeared. These are the people who have taken over the responsibility of the office. These people have taken control of many offices. They have stolen at least a tease, and the hands are silence. They will not sit with their hands on their hands. Follow the definition of China. 3 groups of people are walking and talking about the front flanks of the reserve. They are holding the bases with crop metal. Cherished, they went tied to the bamboo with the meat of the dogs, but it was enough and they wanted more teas. On the way there were more than 10 teases filled with spinners. They were suspicious. On the first night someone wandered near the field to hide the calf. The light kept on breathing in the pain, wanted to see the immortal reaction by saving lives. On the third day at 3 o'clock we left for Powarik. 20-40 centenarians gave up their lives for the competition. What is the sound of death? It was so 30 children, it seemed like a week's march. Who was waiting in the shift at the last hour? Was it 2 months old? It is not even a month old. In this mountain they want to transform us. Shalon understood our intention, they want to end the first one like us. It happened on a dark night. More than 20 men from 3 directions are on the front line. 5 men are trying to encircle the front line from both the flanks, but the strength of the farmers did not want to be diminished. Water fell on the main troop from one side, and the black hole in the nose blocked the way, and the front attack was also kept on the troop. The calves were raised on the road, and the riders jumped to fight with the prepared sticks. They were not small but were enough to cause havoc. The enemy did not expect that we were so prepared but did not give up. Every next 2 weeks a source of water kept rising in the sky, poisoned the rate, caught it at the given time. No one got sick, tried to burn it, but did not catch fire. Everything was wet due to the rain, did not catch fire. Turned our truck around, became stronger than everyone else and fought better than others. This time we did not take it. In front of me there was a big tattooed man waving a metal pipe, but in a jacket. He fell on his knees. Another time he did not move. This was the first time that I had killed a person, not for the protection of the family but directly. In this battle he surprised everyone. He knew the ways of these people. He is scared of fire. He fired something for Shirvan. Surrounded by diesel and set on fire the cars of others. We are lying down due to the smoke. A surrounded enemy on the way is completely visible. Nita raised her hands. We are leaving. China took care of us and said next time this will not happen. This drought will not happen. We will leave, leaving behind some dead bodies, leaving behind some victims. The price is very high. The heavy wall will have to be repaired. Almost injured 2 misguided people. 200 people are leading the way. 1 wall is spent. The splices are spent. Food was given to everyone by a bicycle. Children were filled with dreams. It was broken by the elders. The need for it was gone, but now they were not holding the hands of what you gave. Looking at the wall which was being repaired. Did we save Our home now. The house was not just black, the house was the sixth thing. 2017 missed the order and their hands also got the second repair. Shaolin said to the crowd house, I don't know whether the thing is good or the sack is good. I said, at least I know I am not worried about this. Truth, it was a little more than the supply of confiscation. Everyone was very happy to see our wife. Its shape is like a broken glass. I have run my house in a special way. It was quiet in the light of Chan. She had broken the lamp. She had to check something. Everyone was alive, and most important of all, this Saturday. What had happened was that no one could feed it. The king said that there were no hares on the paddy fields. After 15 months every grain of golden gold was made of blood and sweat. China said that at least 4,000 kilos came out. 4,000 sounds like a lot, but it was not easy for more than 50 people in this first year. First there was an attack of locusts on that river. Those nasty insects gnawed on the stalks of the paddy and everything was washed away. The pestilence had ended. The 2 grains of salt and the water of the atomizer kept on burning in the throats of the whole night. Then the hands got swollen due to drinking in the rock water, but the drink was controlled. Then the water got dried. At the time of filling, the water was closed for 1 kilometer. I had to lose a burden of 30 kilos after crossing a small heavy one round the shoulders. Went from the heart to the heart with a dash. The stomach was not white, did not stop for a while, and then again the fight. The song became pure and then became more attractive. The same song could speak for a whole month. The same song could speak once for a whole month. The trappers made the tin nets and made the trapezoids. The women made of bamboo pointed at them used to sing the song at night. The song used to sound loudly one by one. The voice used to sing in the whole valley as if I am telling the world or fasting we are saving. And then on the day of harvest taught the snake the trick to pulse downwards, hold the trunk and cut a bundle of 4 wheat grains close to the ground. This was the same trick that Dalaji had taught me. Now I was teaching you to tie more bundles and keep them one after the other as if the backs are breaking. There are blisters of blood on the grass, but there is no complaint of tiredness. Dalaji's leg thresher for the sake of cleanliness. 5 years old Church used to sleep, but the leg kept walking. The pressure roll keeps turning on the top branches. Grains of gold fall. The children would throw 1 grain of grain that had fallen on the left side. There was not to be any visa. 10-year-old children were given 1 shabul every day. There were more precautions in teaching. There was no more value in the grains than in a new threat. The flour on the stove was worth 5 centimes. Turn it every 2 hours, and if it rained it would break everything. On the 3rd day in the evening dark clouds would jump in the sky. Rain is about to come. All the crazy people would be wandering with brooms and buckets. A harvest fell on the grains of wheat. India was pushed by gold dust. The children left and kept on harvesting the grains with their hands. Not even a single sack was wasted. Heavy rain started. Everyone stood under the roof looking at the rain washing the fire. They were smiling. The happiness of meeting on time is like nothing else. Shaholin's river was connected to 3 more sources of water. We are green, ready for the change which comes soon. 20-30 medicines are needed. 20 days are needed. 20 pieces are daughters. 20 are batteries, and there are 20-41 cups, and a man is awake to get salt. Primary school bracelets. All are there. All are natural. No one asked where did you come from. The exchange which does not agree will answer to everyone. The first exchange was 7 and 25 kilos of change. All the people were waiting. All the money was kept at a distance, and instead of the days 100 kilos of batteries were bought. The first market sex of this goat is that everyone in the world has been honest, because this trust is the most important thing. And when unknown guests came, to whom unknown guests came in the form of a small screen, I wanted to spindle the eyes of the puck's eyes. Stay calm. We are the team of the juice and beauty. We have kept the order. We have a safe zone to register the surveys. We have created a safe zone. There is a wooden camp in the city. There is an army patrol. There are supplies. We are inviting people to discuss about safety, but leaving this land means danger. But the house which was built with our own hands will be the same. I told a person in that place the grains of corn in that place should be considered yellow. I came with him to the house and went for 2 days. We are in this country. This is our home. I said. The commander accepted our decision. You did a good job. Something even better than the official safe zoom. Before leaving, a military radio, basic medicine, a blue star flag. This is what you should get as long as the country does not forget you. It is good and safe. This night's defeat was the decision. I made a wish in that place. It was not spicy, but it was woody and dirty. Everyone had a small cup in front of them. There was steam with the taste of ginger coffee. There was such a smell that they were burning. Hung made a metal craps drum to play the drum. The girls started rubbing all around the fire. Big plates were being played. I showed a new day in chicken on the art of opening the arch spit, but the other person lit the ticks as he was doing what he was doing. What is said about this land that saved us in this disaster, about the stars that left this shelter, and the faith of all of them is alive because of the silver of all that was scattered with me on this beach of stone where Dadaji used to sit. I looked all around. I was full of songs of love and smile. We had built our sheltered home only for the sake of a material. Dadaji, I said, what are you seeing? What happened there in the fields? There is a fountain which grandfather saw while you were there. I have seen. It was less strong than before. This time the speed was not increasing, it had started increasing. I could go at any time, which snakes have to go 200, but there must be medicine there. There must be 50 clots of anime on the way. Those who had gone for the second time did not come back. I woke up in the morning. I am the First Lady of China. I have been counted by the number of people who have raised their hands. I have come. I know the way. I will go, I will walk. I know that the road is less dangerous. There are 5 people lying on an old tractor-based diesel. This was all before leaving. I saw the butcher's clean hand in the forest. Susie's dug up the wells. That's the situation, and the gas only if the time is not full. Everyone understood. If someone works, then at least they will teach me. Therefore will be saved. 4 will remain blind. I will cut the tractor. The cow was driving on the mountain road. Others were keeping an eye. Everyone was keeping an eye on the elephants carrying the roasted iron in their hands. The sight was horrifying. The village was silent. The door was opened. The doors of the burnt carts were opened. A good storm was moving on the road. The zombie team was moving ahead. Listening to the sound of the tractor, I turned the wheel and the tractor came out of the mud. In the mud, I started eating my ass and started eating it. I started looking at it for a long time. Then I saw the young team of the hospital hiding here for a month. There are still people in the hospital? I asked in this way. More than 20 doctors and nurses are lying down, but the hospital is full of zombies on every side. Come with us. He told me to be with him. There is a greater need for a doctor. There are zombies roaming aimlessly in every street and hitting the walls. The hospital was in the middle of the city. The cross sign was still there. There were signs all over the building. Zombies could easily enter the team. So how will they enter? The team hung even while thinking, started making noise at the back and was distracting. I said I will go. Suddenly he said, I will give you a good shout from the back. License. I hope you guys go there and there is a lot of fun. I started looking forward to the end of the zombies. Come on, father's son, come to me. He came to the side of the main road. He killed the cars on the international road. One thing. The zombies started shouting towards him. The zombies started moving towards him in a wave. The view inside was amazing. There was no electricity, but more than 20 doctors and nurses were working. The Englishman said with a smile that 3 doses of anti-bet and fever medicine are almost finished. China said that 3 doses of medicine are needed. Someone got 20 medicines and a box of 3 anti-bet and fever tablets. The Englishman gasped and said in his speech, I said to my companions, I am going with them. There are more people than the doctor and there is a pain. I was ready to go when the alarm went away. I had to lie down. I ran away, but it was too late. The cow's bite started bleeding. Blood started flowing. I picked it up from the cow, threw it on my stomach and ran towards the tractor with all my might. Hang started the tractor, uncle said from the seat. The voice of the Tuncat had kept some blood. Everyone knew what it was about, but now I left it alone. The voice must have broken. I walked almost in secret. You are half of us. The diesel ran out. 20 kilometers left on foot. We will wake up one by one, China said, but the path was blinded. But the path was not being covered. The stick that was swinging from the hands started increasing. Sorry for what had happened. I said 2 words to save myself, said the voice of China. But it was only the last 10 kilometers. Then I became very excited. I had not told when I could open it, and I had not told that I would not go. Suddenly in the end, I don't give the light of the field. Open the door, sir. Opened the gate. Operate in the granary. Uncle commanded me. No operation is slow. No surgical lamp, no torch, no anesthesia. Asked me to give him a piece of wood and wax. How can I say anything? The face of the snakes was cold, but it was right. That's why the operation started. That sound was like the sound of cutting. Everyone's face turned white due to the fear. The pain came back. Then again the consciousness of 2 hours will come from the middle of the body. Uncle Zoan said softly, let me tell you, but a miracle happened. Maybe I had gone at the right time for you, or maybe it was so much that I had flown away. The virus did not fill. I did not stop the disease without a tank. God went on a journey, lost some of the grass, lost some of it in the rain. Saw the girl as the first one to get lost. My decision was the first one to get lost. Gave 1 dose of blood to the Chinese water. The girl gave the 2nd dose of blood to a child who was given a strong blood and had to chase away all the others with studded furnaces. 2 strong girls were buried on the last slope. There was no coffin, just that He was sitting on the terrace of the terrace. He had read to me as a leader, this decision of who will get the medicine first, this decision of someone else could have killed me, this landlord has kept me buried in my throat, the snow on the feet has melted and flowed in the trees, and good news has come on the most important military roads. All the cares are thought of without reason, the infection has been kept in check, all in the containment operations in the regions. Urine has been found from the says. Where are the real fans in the antenna flow meters? Bedix's flower middens, the hot panels, the collection icon unit, the whole Boda's serving bases with its grade better icon unit video has been converted. The forms of sex stories were going to be used in the entire props. At the end of the minute, the organizer said all the bases should stick to their production capacity. The country has returned to its production capacity. The limit instruction has started on a large scale, the most difficult one. The time has passed, the sowing of the rain has begun. This time I am with 25 moons and oves. Only one answer has been given to me on account of rational balance. The clans Hang and his tin made a van time was visible from the air of the valley. Water was no longer washed, but so was China. Bought a train security. Tin Shan took charge of the communication every day. Was the second week on the fixed team. It was towards a small society. Everyone would get their place. The most touching moment was when the communication was restored. Mama Lizen also appeared in front of the screen. Mama and daughter one, they were hugging the other one with a skin. I found a new friend on another base. There was a nose on the other base. He wrote a fake. I did not have a post on the video. I got the news of my comrades getting snatched. We were still fighting. Our fare was returned with victory. The police of Shaolin left the college. We met the coffee station. We were still walking. We are falling on you. The chief said keep seeing everyone meeting. Dada G is coming. He would have been alive today seeing these fields like this again. That evening when grandfather was happy, I again looked at the dawn turning towards the good which was called in olden times. Looking at the house, the father of the day kept three things: a cup of 6 wool wine and a bunch of ground flowers. Talked about your health. Now the sire number is 47. 30 months saved the land. More than 50 people are alive. Very useful. That gate, he saved everyone's life. You, it is true that this land does not betray those who take care of it. The goat has collected the fruit. Your goat has a small patch of peach. The philosophy is good for you. The fruit of the peach is very beautiful. There were only one city in every village to see them. Then I got up and looked towards the bird. The smoke of the kitchens was rising gradually. The children were playing in the newly made field preparations for the next sowing in the big field. I was engaged in making seals under the stones of a strong tree. I was hearing the news on the radio. Some eagles have come back. I know that it will take years for everything to be known, but it does not matter. We have land, we have to eat, we can have water, we can live, and we have each other. We need each other, and the most important thing is profit. This time I started walking towards the garden, not to become alive, but to live, to build again. The voices of other creatures and the sound of Canaan came. I took 30 steps and joined with them on the land which was there in our ancestors. We will also keep sowing season after season, year after year. This is the fate of the farmer, and his poverty also does not change. The world changes as long as there is land, as long as there are seeds there is life. It will keep moving forward, which this song sings even after the cold. Every day, every evening a new thread is written before starting. Let's set today's first target of 2 likes on this video. If you like this journey, if every episode feels like you, then press the like button, and along with the target of 2, your 1 like is not just a button, it is the proof that you want to increase it. Subscribe to this channel and hit the bells so that every new episode and every new toast reaches you first. And yes, today's most important mission: every human being is one to me. If only one person is there.